Today is going to be quite intense. We have got some very fast and content-heavy sessions where you're going to upskill yourself so that you lead teaching staff this evening.
So the aspirations and aims of the project is to be able to run a pilot that will demonstrate to our colleagues regionally and even nationally that we have got a way of being able to remove the barriers to the current curriculum. So if we can demonstrate that the children can engage in the learning, they can have fun, but most importantly, what we are doing actually has an impact. So we need concrete evidence so that children's targets are being met and even exceeded.
We know already from the first year of the project that actually the 4 sessions that we offered went some way to help children better understand the rather challenging poems. We also know that it helped with the short-term memory recall. The long-term memory recall between year to year is something that really we're choosing to explore in the second year cycle, and hopefully the impact of this will be measurable in the final results that they achieve.
The biggest challenge for me personally is, because I teach majority of lower ability students, it's the fact that there's no more coursework. Courses like this, it's absolutely fantastic to try and help them, not just help the students but help the teachers as well to get more creative in the classroom.
So this morning we looked at the poem London, and we wanted to kind of represent that by visual arts. So we started off by asking the pupils to make a little chatterbox and asked them to think about colours and words and images that represent that poem to them. We then went on to visual art over an umbrella, and the idea behind that was that we've got quite a lot in our school already that hang up in the classrooms, so that pupils could take them away with them back to their schools and hang them in the classrooms. So when they're in their English classes, they can have a look at them, they might see an image or a colour or a word, and that might help them sort of remember that poem.
Here you can't say in every choir man can't stand, like in every voice, in every band, like she can't stand all the voices.
The sessions from last year and the session that we have done today has changed my attitude toward poetry and anthologies, because it's more fun than what we do in a basic classroom, and this, what we've done today, acting it out, putting it together with drama, has helped me remember anthologies and poems.
We often hear these days that children don't leave school with the right qualifications in terms of life skills. What the arts can do is it can really enhance the learning of individuals right across a whole raft of subjects.
I've learned a lot more about poetry and how we use it in our English lessons. We've added a few more things to it, like drama and umbrellas, artwork. It's made it more creative.
With the new GCSEs, there is an emphasis on content and knowledge acquisition, and we feel very strongly that the arts are well placed to help young people to learn memorisation techniques. The idea of remembering lines of a poem through music or melody, or through movement, through tangible things that they can actually walk through the poem physically or in their minds, that will then help them when they sit in an exam and have to recall the information. On a minibus on the way here this morning, I asked pupils to recite some of the poems that they'd learnt over a year ago, and they were able to, and they used the movements and they used the actions and things that they'd associated with lines, and it was immediately there without any hesitation.
From doing things like the physical performance, I think that will help me to remember all these different quotes and things like that, because through doing that you create these visual images that get stuck in your head, and that's a very good way of remembering them.
In our workshop, we decided to split the session into 2, and we've produced a dance workshop and a choral speaking workshop, allowing students to develop both of those skills through gaining the ability to recall the poems.
It's been really good for me to be able to use cross-curricular links and team up with the English department and be able to work together and collaborate and make new resources which can be then taken and used for not just lower ability students but students that might prefer learning in more of a kinesthetic environment.
The project that we're doing, the Recall project, has helped me realise that there's more than one way to remember things, because generally I'm quite a visual learner anyway, but I've realised that you can adapt yourself to different things.
First slappings, returning, yeah. That phrase, it's stuck in my head because that's the visual performance that I did.
When I have images, it helps me remember stuff more in colour.
Techniques help me to learn the poem, memorise the poem easily, because they are interactive, they are engaging. It's really easy to remember a song. Like for example, if it's like one of your favourite songs, you just learn the lyrics quickly. So same with the poems, the rhythm of the music will help you remember the words easily.
And I have memorable quotes and words stuck in my head that can help me think of the phrases whilst I'm in exams as well.
I was involved in the Recall project, and I was involved in taking a workshop with students, and then students then taught the teachers. It's almost like a role reversal, and so we've actually tried it where the students have taught their peers, and it definitely does work.
From the perspective of the students, it actually really brought the poems to life. It's a really fun way of rehearsing and revising key quotations that they will need for their exam.
Using the actions along with the words and the quotes from the poems, it's helped a lot of the pupils remember quotes, as well as myself actually. Obviously the quotes are incredibly important when it comes to the new GCSE, as they all have to be kind of memorised beforehand.
I have tried to implement what I've learned in my schemes of work. It's a little bit hard with Key Stage 4 at the minute because we are sort of got a lot to fit in, which I think is just the strains and the pressures of sort of so much content for literature. However, we in Year 9 have started looking at poetry, so it's definitely something that I brought to the department and told them that it's something that we could sort of trial and bring in, so it's much more fun and engaging ways to introduce the poems and the poets to the students.
After the Recall project, I had some students in there who did participate, and they wanted to sort of develop their techniques and the skills that they'd learnt on there, and they wanted to change one of the poems into a rap to enable them to remember it better.
So myself and another member of staff at the school got together 60 Year 10 pupils, quite a lot of low ability ones, 5 who were involved in the original Recall project, and they taught the lesson to the other 55 pupils, which was really, really empowering to see. And it was wonderful to see those moments where it was one pupil teaching another pupil, and myself and the other teacher were just taking a step back, and they just got it, and it was brilliant.